It's no coincidence that you just stumbled in here. You too also at times could find yourself in that worry mind frame. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. That's it, spinning around the headspace. I'm trapped in my own head, right? That's exactly what Spirit was saying. So this is that third eye energy, that mental energy, the worry that just spins around and doesn't do anything at all except for cause you turmoil, lower your energetic vibrational frequency, okay, and manifest experiences that validate the call that you're sending out with your worry. All right. Now, this is the one here that first turned over for you, success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. I love that. This one came out first and I kept shuffling because I felt like, okay, but what else? But what's next? Success. I can be successful and still feel like, well, what else is there in life? I feel like there's something more for me. Again, this worrying in the headspace, letting you know that you don't need to worry about the future or the past. I want to say your manifestations, you are on the right track to succeed as long as you don't entertain that kind of a negative energy pattern for too long. We are in an energetic dimension. Sorrow, grief, sadness, despair, and mourning was right here on the bottom of the deck, which tells me that there are some emotions that might be bottled up inside of you that could stand to be released, lest they tinge your manifestations that you're desiring to have here, right? This card fell for you, waiting. I'm waiting for something outside of myself to happen, and then I'll be happy, then I'll be okay. I'm waiting to see how something unfolds, if life improves, if someone will come back or offer me that job or whatever it could be here. I'm waiting. And while you're waiting and probably worrying, you're being robbed of your now moment. And in fact, you might have a lot of fears and doubts that need to be extinguished, rationalized even. Sometimes we're waiting to hear back on a job. I've had a job interview and I'm waiting to hear back on the job. But inside, I'm thinking, I'm sure they're not going to pick me. They always go with someone else. I wasn't even dressed that great. And I said that stupid answer on the fourth question. I'm sure it won't be me. I always fudge these things up. It won't be me. But man, I really want that job. I need it so bad. But man, I knew I messed up that interview. It didn't feel right. We can have these things going on inside of us that is pushing that further and further away. What you're actually doing is manifesting that call that says, hey, sorry, you're not the right fit, because your inner realm dictated that you weren't going to get this job. Basically, that's what I want to say to you here, is that your inner realm, the way you feel about life, the things that you think about, the way you talk inside of yourself, the kinds of energy that you carry, it all dictates your future, and your happiness, your joy, your contentment cannot be found in some elusive future that has more conducive circumstances, less restrictions than you currently have, right? So I see here a little bit of that, like finding the success now, trusting your actions, knowing you're going to get there, but recognizing that you're not there because the energy isn't quite a match yet. So releasing some of these lower vibe emotions or some of the trapped, stuck, repressed, bottled emotions, all right, like tears, or sometimes anger wants to come out in that way as well. So whatever way is healthy for you, I kind of feel like just watching some Lifetime movies, some kind of tear jerkers that will allow you just to cry and release these energy patterns. Sometimes we don't even know what these energy patterns are, but it's pinging something here. So allow yourself to release the worry, release anything that's bottled up inside of you in whatever healthy, appropriate way that is. If you need to write something out and burn it, maybe this is like, oh, I used to be very successful in my business, but there was a hiccup and now I'm afraid. So write about what happened and burn it to get it out of your life. Okay, lesson integrated. I know all about that. I gave it its time and moment. Now it's really gone. Okay, and I can proceed down this path because you're making yourself resonant with the frequency of having that over here instead of just waiting for it. And that will help you to do that. I hope that makes sense to you, darling. I am available for private readings, guys. If you're interested in privately connecting with me, my book now button right here on my page would be the best way to do that. You can browse my options there and see what it looks like, and you can get on my schedule if you need to. I'm definitely here for you guys.